Hi, good day. It's Rhea here again with January 29th's Heart Card reading. And if this is all new to you, I do have another video that talks about how the heart cards originated. And I just give a little explanation and brief introduction to them, and they're also on Facebook. But in a nutshell, they're all cards that are in their organic nature in Maine that just kind of speak to me and pop out when I'm just running. They're just there. I'm not looking for them, and there have been days where I try to avoid them and ignore them, but those are the days they're even stronger and popping out at me. So they're just done on my runs with my iPhone, and just messages from Spirit that go with them. So what I do is I just ask Spirit, which isn't separate from us. It's just it's us and our higher dimension, higher self, our God self, and it's us speaking to ourselves to give us insight, to give us guidance, to give us reassurance, and just to help us along our path. And so I just ask Spirit to infuse them with pure white light and love, which they are. And then I just shuffle and I ask for the right one to pop out that's relevant to us. And there are many, many different layers to the card, like there are with any kind of cards. Not just the imagery, not just the words. They will speak to you in the way that your higher self knows that you'll understand. It might not be as deep as the message on the card. It could be simply a picture of a rock, and say you've been thinking of going hiking, a rock climbing. It could just be affirmation for you in some way. Or it could be something deeper within your heart that you're questioning and asking guidance for. So it's universal. It's universal, yes, very specific at the same time. It speaks to you in your own heart. So let's see what the card will be for today. All right, I'm going to say this one. Kind of popped out. And this one is, it's not the most glamorous, but we'll see what it says. It's a picture of actually dirt in the perfect shape of a heart that looks like it's been run over or has tracks on it. Obviously, I saw this one because it's on the pavement when I was running on the streets. So I'll give you a look at it, and I will read the back for you. And the title of the card is Acceptance of Self. And like I said before, when I put these cards together, the messages that I receive from Spirit I didn't deliberately match them to the heart. In the program, I let the messages match themselves, and I love to see how they get matched up because it's usually very, very appropriate. And it's exciting because I didn't do it intentionally. I left it in the hands of the universe, God, and it always just always works out. So this one is called Acceptance of Self. When we label and judge others for how they are living and simply being, we are masking judgment against ourselves. They are manifestations of the limitations that we live freely from the heart. Let me read that again. They are manifestations of the limitations we place to live freely from the heart. So what it's saying is things that you judge in others and how you see others, or criticisms, and when you're judging them, it's really a projection, a reflection of judgment that in some way that you aren't allowing yourself to be free. And then it goes on to say, judgments are reflections of self-denial. They need to be integrated into the light in order to live in true freedom. So like all of life, everything in the world is a projection of our own vibration, our own frequency, our own energy. And a lot of times it'll speak to us in ways that might catch our eye, or that it'll come to us in a way that we can recognize, to bring out something in ourselves that we are denying. So in this card, I can see how that totally fits the message, because the lines, the stripes, being run over, to me that represents being hard on oneself, hard on others, being rough on the heart, stomping on it, driving over it. And as always, obviously you're doing it to your own heart, or else that projection and judgment would not be there to others' ways of being and living. So like it says, what you do unto others, what you do unto yourself, you do unto others, and vice versa, because we are all one. And so in this card, I mean, the heart is there. It's beautiful in itself, but it shows that it's been taken a beating and judgment, and it's against a hard pavement. So we've been hard on ourselves. Our heart has been kind of contained and kind of taken care of in a harsh way, not a soft, tender way. And the brown and the dirt can represent, to me, and for you it could be totally something different. So you take from it how spirit, your higher self, is speaking to you, and your own intuitiveness about the reading. But for me, a lot of times dirt can represent, and this is hardened dirt and mud, something that's been there for a while and it's kind of dried out and it's kind of seen its day, to me can represent more negative emotions, or being covered in dirt, hiding oneself, being ashamed. So to me, this heart represents, it's kind of hardened dirt and it's been there for a while, and it's something that needs to be let free and let go of and accepted and integrated in oneself. And judgment is simply limiting perception. It's judging. And you might have, this might be telling you have judgments, limitations, and perceptions that you're not even aware of. But how you can be aware of them is if it doesn't feel good. If you feel you're criticized, when you criticize and judge someone, it might feel a little good to like spurt it out from the ego. But deep down, usually you feel, or I feel, or as you become more conscious, you feel that it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. But when you're lighter energy and not criticizing and accepting and encouraging other people on to be who they truly are, it feels light and nice. So this card not only could represent you, it represents others, but again, it's all one and the same. And it's just asking us to catch yourself in those moments of self-judgment, which is the worst, because everything originates from the self. All that you feel about yourself is the projection, is the reflection that you see in the world. So there's no getting around it. Everything on the outside, everything to do with others, everything that you're projecting always comes down to self. But the projection, the reflection is just to give you that reflection, that mirror back of yourself, and have you question it. And as you become more conscious and more aware of energy and how it truly works, and everything is made up of energy, and how you are the center of your universe, and your reality is all a reflection of your thoughts, your beliefs, what you're going through. And there is no wrong, but I think you guys would all agree that it does feel better to be in the higher frequency. It feels good to be light. It feels good to be living that truer frequency of love. And that's what we want for ourselves. And that will reflect back in others when we accept ourselves. And we've all been there. We've all been hard on ourselves. We've all criticized ourselves in some way, or thought we aren't good enough for something, or put ourselves down. And to me, that's what this beautiful little heart that just wants to shine through. And I mean, it's all love, and that's the heart within you. And it's staying strong and it's staying true to itself, regardless of the running over, of the judgment, of the criticism. And it's always there, and it will always be there. It just needs to be acknowledged for the love that it is and the light that it is, which is what all of you guys are. Your light and your love, and all those challenges and all those things that you do go through, and all the running over and just, being rough on yourself and rough on your heart, ultimately in itself is for a reason too, to help you discover and to accept and to love more truly who you are, and to expand your consciousness and to get rid of those limiting beliefs and perceptions. And I just hope all of you, and a lot of it comes down to forgiveness too, on a card reading from the other day. When you forgive yourself and you can accept yourself and know that you're perfect just the way you are, and you're exactly how you should be. You're perfect for your path. You're perfect for your purpose. And you're nothing less than, a ray of light, a piece of God shining. So just be light on yourself and try to find ways to encourage yourself or compliment yourself. And that's not from the ego. The ego is the part of you that says, oh, you're not good enough. And it's all based in false perceptions, limiting beliefs, and judgment. But the God, the true, the higher frequency of yourself, it always feels good. It's always uplifting. It's light. It's fun. It's humorous. It's not heavy and serious. And so that's the card of today. And it's acceptance of self. When you accept yourself and you can appreciate yourself, that's the energy you create for the world to reflect exactly back to you. And all those tire marks and all of the little lines on the heart and all the little hardened things that have been there for years and years and years and years and years that you haven't acknowledged, that can all be brought to the perfection, to show it's always perfect, but to be brought into the light and into the newness that it is. Every moment is a new moment. It's a new beginning. It's a new slate, and it's a fresh start. So that is it for today. Acceptance of self. And until tomorrow, thank you for watching, and love and light.